Member for Pascoe Vale.
Thank you, Acting Speaker, and I rise to support the Energy and Land Legislation Amendment Energy Safe Bill of 2025. In doing so, I would like to acknowledge the Minister for the State Electricity Commission, Energy and Climate Action for her work in bringing this bill to the chamber. And I acknowledge that she's a former student of my electorate many years ago with Mercy College, which celebrates its 60th anniversary this week, in fact. So it's fantastic to see a former student of Mercy here in this state parliament as the member for Mill Park, spearheading the renewable energy drive in this state. Fantastic. And of course, this bill that forms another important part of supporting our Labor government's nation-leading agenda to transition our energy grid to a more renewable, sustainable and cheaper network for businesses, households and communities. And fundamental to achieving these aspirations will be safety. Safety for the workers building this infrastructure, safety for the households and the communities in which this infrastructure will be built and transmitted through, and also the properties through which it will be hosted through as well. Because the fact is the provision of an essential service like energy cannot occur without the appropriate regard to safety, and that is why this bill is so important. The reforms it introduces will have those long-term benefits to the safety of Victorians and ensure consumer protections, confidence in our energy safety regulator, Energy Safe Victoria. And the bill will amend a number of acts, including the Electricity Safety Act of 1998, the Gas Safety Act of 97, Pipelines Act of 2005 and Energy Safe Victoria Act of 2005 to strengthen Victoria's energy safety framework. The bill will also amend the Lands Act to provide improved certainty to invest in complex projects on unreserved land in Victoria. Acting Speaker, Victoria's energy sector is undergoing a rapid transformation indeed under this minister, driven by the growth of both utility scale and residential generation and storage. Driven back by bringing back the SEC, we're working towards creating 59,000 new clean energy jobs over coming years and meeting on our carbon reduction targets of 33% by 25, 50% by 2030, 80% by 2035 and of course net zero emissions by 2045, along with we have invested already $3 billion into renewable energy infrastructure. We have set forward some of the most ambitious renewable energy targets in the nation and the world, with a 65% renewable electricity target by 2030, 95% renewable electricity by 2035, and we're investing in large-scale public projects for the first time in many years. The SSE Renewable Energy Park in Horsham and the Melbourne Renewable Energy Hub near Melton as well. And the fact is we're taking that real action to reach these goals, and at the same time we've driven down our emissions by 32.3%. We've grown the share of energy generation that comes from renewables to almost 40% of the state's energy generation, and at the same time we've grown the economy and growing jobs by 42.8%. At the same time, of course, Acting Speaker, these actions have also helped us keep downward pressure on energy prices. Through these measures, Victoria now has the lowest wholesale power price in the country. This is due to our record investment in cheaper, more reliable, renewable energy. Lower wholesale prices mean lower retail bills for Victorian households and businesses. The 24-25 Victorian default energy offer also shows an average of $100 or around 6% decrease in electricity bills for residential customers versus the previous year. For small businesses, it's around $261 or a 7% decrease. That's real money back in the pockets for Victorian families and Victorian businesses. And in stark contrast, it's the opposition here that are focused on the most expensive forms of energy as their alternative policy, whether it's gas or nuclear. The fact is renewable energy, clean energy, is the cheapest form of energy. But Speaker, as we undertake this transformation, we need to make sure that legislation does keep pace. Victoria's energy safety framework was designed for a centralised fossil fuel-based network and has not kept pace with these evolving technologies, creating regulatory gaps, and that legislative reform is required to respond to those contemporary safety risks. The bill will amend the Electricity Safety Act, Gas Safety Act and Pipes Act to strengthen Energy Safe's ability to mitigate safety issues early, monitor compliance with directions and take enforcement actions. It introduces a new entry power with a warrant where there is a risk to the health and safety of a person or to significant damage to property that does not amount to an emergency. The bill also enables Electricity Safety Victoria and Gas Safety Act to be enforced via infringement notices, providing additional flexibility. And there are quite a number of other reforms contained here as well that, given the time I have, I might just acknowledge the previous speakers have contributed to. The bill is based on extensive consultation as well, unions, business sector, and various other stakeholders who, by and large, support overwhelmingly, unlike the opposition, the amendments contained in this bill. And of course, the safer rollout of more renewable solar, cheaper energy across Victoria also has benefits for my community in Marybeck, in Pascoe, Vale, Coburg and Brunswick West. As the Minister for the SSC did announce over the weekend, Victorians continue to save and take up renewable energy in record droves. Our Solar Homes program has helped slash $1 billion off the installation of solar panels, energy-efficient heat pumps and batteries, with 30% of Victorian homes now having installed solar. More than 300,000 solar panels have been installed through the landmark Solar Homes program, and that's generating 2,100 megawatts of solar power that can be generated from rooftops, the equivalent of Loy Yang A, one of the largest coal-fired power stations in Victoria. Last year was a record for solar homes with more than 78,000 solar panels, hot water systems and batteries installed during 2024, the largest year on record, and combined with the Victorian Energy Upgrades Program, the VEU, that's providing discount on energy-efficient appliances ranging from cooktops, heat pumps. Victorians are collectively saving a further $440 million. In my community, in my electorate, we've had a very strong uptake of installations via the Solar Homes program. Deputy Speaker, 2,460 solar homes installations. And Speaker, one of those homes that very much set the pace locally when it comes to renewable and cheaper energy is that of Katie Daly in Coburg. Minister D'Ambrosio and I visited Katie's wonderful home in Coburg back in October 2023, with Katie having installed solar panels, a solar hot water system, insulation and double glazed windows back in 2021. And when we talk about the Solar Homes program and how it can benefit and save households money, we need to look no further than Katie, because she hasn't paid a power bill since upgrading her house, $0 power bills. That's Katie in Coburg. And I thank Katie for having hosted us in her beautiful home and commend her for her broader ongoing local environmental advocacy that she undertakes. Building on the incredible efforts of people like Katie, I'm also very pleased to have announced we've secured Marybeck as one of the first LGAs to welcome the rollout of the new SEC Consumer Pilot. The pilot is very much the next step in delivering that one-stop shop for local consumers wanting to switch to all electric. The SEC pilot in Marybeck will include a free digital platform that walks users through a short survey about their home and energy use, then tailors a plan to cut their energy bills through electrification. The pilot includes suggestions for locals on suitable appliances, indicative costs, return on investment, government rebates, emission reductions and much more, and that support, advice and assistance that people may need to transition regardless of their background or their income. The SSC pilot will be there to help people across Marybeck. And Speaker, all of these measures stand in very stark contrast to those of the Liberal Nationals who oppose this bill. When it comes to energy, the Liberals can tell you all about what they oppose and stand against, but not what they stand for. Whether it's this bill or whether it's solar power program, wind generation or bringing back the SEC, make no mistake, the Liberals will seek to cut all of our renewable energy programs and you'll sell off the SEC again.